We should be there shortly, Shepard. The elusive man put us under your command. Do you have any orders?
See, the thing is, like, haven't really landed yet. So, what can we ask you? What can we order you to do? I suppose we can ask about our authority?
Are you sure you'll be comfortable following my orders?
We didn't bring you back from the dead just to second-guess you, Commander. If the elusive man says you're in charge, you're in charge.
Okay, I mean, that's good to hear. Suppose that's a little reassuring. Then, okay, so then we've heard about attacks on other colonies. Is our assumption this is going to be similar to
What
that?
did you find at the other colonies?
Nothing. No signs of attack, no corpses, not even a trace of unusual genetic material to give us a clue. They just disappear. And we've got no target to go after.
That does make investigating rather difficult. In which case, that may not bode well for our odds of success here.
What makes you think this investigation will turn up anything new?
At other colonies, official investigators got there first. Sometimes looters or salvage teams as well. We're hoping to be the first ones there this time. Maybe find clues before somebody else disturbs the scene.
Okay, I suppose that could make things bode a little bit better for us this time around. I mean, might even mean we could find some people who are still alive.
Our first priority is to look for survivors.
That's unlikely, Commander. No one was left at the other colonies. They were completely deserted.
Be nice to find somebody. Anything's better than another ghost town.
Alright, so, land here on Freedom's Progress, and now, you'll see here that we just got some additional weapons, because in the tutorial there, when we were just going through the facility where we got resurrected from the Lazarus project, we only had access to the heavy pistol. However, we now have access to all the weapons that are available to your specific class. So in the case of the Vanguard, we of course still have our heavy pistol, but we also have a submachine gun, and we have a shotgun as well. So we are, of course, technically the hybrid between combat and biotics, so we will have a decent number of, or decent weapon capabilities as well as biotic abilities, which we, for the most part, haven't really used at all yet, but we will unveil that stuff soon. Then Jacob and Miranda. Jacob is actually also a Vanguard, so he has a pistol and a shotgun, whereas Miranda is a Sentinel. She has a pistol and a submachine gun. And, when it comes to abilities here, we have, of course, already seen Jacob's access to pull and incendiary ammo, whereas Miranda has Warp and Overload, Warp being a biotic ability, which rips enemies apart at the molecular level and stops health regeneration, effective against armor and biotic barriers. Then she also has Overload, which deals massive energy blasts, overpowering shields and kinetic and synthetic enemies. So she has a really nice combo here, whereas Jacob, in many ways, does have some overlap with what we have going on right now. Why don't we have Jacob activate his incendiary ammo? Because at the moment, at least, those things only affect, the ammo effects at least, only affect the individual person activating them. However, we now have the ability to take a look at both Jacob and Miranda and upgrade their skills as well. So they, of course, much like us, have some abilities that we can look at. So, like I said, we will definitely have some overlap between Jacob and us, because we're both Vanguards. You'll see a lot of similarities here. Incendiary ammo, Jacob has it. So do we. By default, we have 1 point in it, but it is something that, we probably won't be upgrading for a little while. I'm thinking that instead what we do is we have Jacob focus on that, and in doing so, if we get him all the way up to level 4, then we can make it, in one of the branching options, squad incendiary ammo, which means that he can give those bonuses to everyone on the team. And so, if you have someone who's using the squad ammo upgrade, then that means that, well, you don't need to have anyone else on the team investing much, if at all, in their ammo upgrade. So that, I think, is worth doing here, because, I mean, it will add up to quite a bit of damage. So that'd be nice to get that for everybody. And then he'll still have access to his basic pull ability to help us with some crowd control. So let's go this route. Oh, he doesn't quite have enough points, though. He's one short. Okay, so, well, that is unfortunate. But at least in his case, he's still getting 40% extra weapons damage from that, and I think we'll just save his remaining ability points in hopes of getting this squad incendiary ammo unlocked soon. And for Miranda, like I said, she's a sentinel, so she has a combination of biotic and tech abilities, and that does mean she is extremely well-rounded. And, let's see, for overload and warp, and even her passive abilities here, everyone has passive abilities, didn't even look at them for Jacob, but, I mean, they function similar to what we have with Shepard, and we, of course, allocated all of our points into that from the beginning. Miranda's is a little bit unique. Everyone's is a little bit different from one another, although Miranda specifically will actually affect the entire squad with her health bonus and her weapon damage bonus. So hers is particularly good for the passive stuff, so we may deliberately choose to go that route here. I think we do that for now, and at least means that we can't afford going all the way up to 4, but it may be sufficient. Just having level 1 overload plus warp, because if we're being mindful of when and where we choose to use them, there should be some nice specific times to make them work, because again, remember that abilities in Mass Effect 2 do deal more damage or less damage depending on what type of defenses your opponent has. So if you are mindful of when and where you choose to use things, you will be able to certainly deal more damage than you would if you were just mindlessly throwing some things out there. We still don't have access to our map, which is unfortunate, but we'll carry on here. And that was kind of freaky.
Looks like everyone just got up and left right in the middle of dinner.
Yeah, you know. You may not be wrong about that. Keep our eyes peeled. Okay, so that's where we came back, or that's where we dropped down here.
Strange. No bodies, no structural damage, and no signs of battle.
Does seem odd. How did everyone disappear in that case? And yet the music is very sort of suspenseful, horror movie-esque. Definitely adds to that feel. Okay, but seemingly just completely empty here. Oh, except for this. Okay, we've got some spare parts. We can salvage for some credits, so that's certainly helpful. Take all the credits we can get here. Never mind. Anything we missed over here, or are we good to go? Oh, we can if we want to. Press down to find the direction of our primary objective, because we are, of course, wandering in the opposite direction at the moment, but, oh, hold on. I thought I saw something there that, for a second, said we could interact with it. It might have just been, it's probably that door. Okay, let's carry on. Let's carry on. Oh, we can also... Really somewhat surprised we didn't start off with our full ammo. Oh, hold on. We have a Loki mech, which is the same type of enemy we were encountering in the tutorial, but you'll notice here that they have armor. Not just armor, or rather, not just life, they have armor as well, which is not something that they had in the tutorial. And this is where having the increased difficulty is significant, because I believe if you are on a lower difficulty, they will not have this armor. And like we were saying before, certain abilities, their effectiveness, depends on what type of defenses your opponent has, and in many cases, if your opponents have any types of additional defenses on top of just health, then that will completely mitigate the effectiveness of your special abilities. So, for example, we cannot effectively pull this mech while it has armor on it. As you can see here, it says protected by armor. So that means we very much want to try to remove that armor as quickly as possible so that we can then start to use our other more powerful abilities. And this is why things like warp, which can effectively rip through armor, as we're seeing here, will definitely be helpful as well.
Strength. Security systems were disabled at the other colonies.
Security systems were disabled by the other colonies, you say? Well, we got rid of the armor on that one. Fortunately, they don't have... Ooh, we took a lot of damage here. Fortunately, they don't have a lot of armor, even if they do have some. And a little bit flanked here. I should not be poking out when we have this little help. Let's give it a moment here. Oh, hello, Fenris mech, which appears to be a little mech that is charging us here. Jacob, if you could like do that to it, thank you. Okay, so let's take a look. There's another Fenris mech here. So again, these guys are like little quick dog-like mechs that will charge us down if we give them enough time. Miranda may have just gone down because she kind of just chose to do everything on her own over there, which, you know, maybe needed to be a little more explicit in our directions for her. But, maybe getting flanked on this side as well. We are. Okay, that's not great. Do we still have Jacob? Jacob is hanging out back somewhere. I mean, I see him on the map, but it looks like he's like, way back. Jacob, where the heck are you? Strange. Okay, if you could... so your abilities are on cooldown. One other difference in combat between Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. When you're using an ability, your cooldown affects all of your other abilities. So, you're not gonna, say, use one ability and then immediately cycle through the next one, to the next one, to the next one. What it means is that your cooldowns are much faster, but you need to be decisive in terms of which route you choose to go. If you go with, say, with Miranda, a warp, then that means that you're not going to be able to turn right around and use an overload immediately afterward. We can, of course, bring Miranda back with a Unity here, although we may be able to get by without her for now, although we are potentially about to get a little bit overwhelmed here.
Shields down.
So, Jacob, if you could help us out here a bit. Oh, that was charge. I meant to do lift, but...
Impact event. Impact event.
Please take cover, Shepard. Oh. You're not dead. Let's charge you as well. And try not to... Oh, we did get shot through cover. Okay, well, we died. We got pretty sloppy there. It's definitely doable, but like I said, especially that we have, now that we've bumped up our difficulty a bit, it's gonna be on the tougher side here. At least certainly at the beginning when we're still trying to level ourselves up. We lost Miranda quickly there, which was definitely a problem. So I think what we might choose to do here is deliberately not push too far forward.
Strange. Security systems were disabled at the other colonies.
So I would like to not have one of our friends go down almost immediately. That definitely didn't help. So of course our specialty as a Vanguard is generally... Oh, Miranda's like not really in cover right now, so that's another reason why she's kind of dying at the moment.
Going now.
So yeah, our strength as Vanguard is generally pushing forward and being in close range rather than trying to hit people from afar like this. But fortunately, this guy seems like he doesn't actually care about us when we're this far back. So that definitely helps. And as you can see, we also have the Incendiary Ammo on our weapon, which gives us some additional damage, and you can see the fire effects there. It does do more damage against organic
Shoot
enemies.
them before they take out your shields.
Yes, you're not wrong. Okay. So these are the little doggos, Fenris mechs. Which, they may explode when they go down, or at least, looks like they did a little bit there.
Gotta hurt.
Okay, so, Jacob... Oh, target's protected by armor, yeah. This one, that'd be great. These guys are closing in on us, and I don't particularly like that. Unfortunately, our friends are on cooldown here. Let's charge in. And take out one of them. And try to blast this one to smithereens before it blasts us. Otherwise, we're going to be in pretty big trouble here. No. Nope. A little too aggressive. So yeah, this is actually, I think this is, I mean, seems silly, but I think this is actually one of the more difficult encounters because got a lot of enemies here, and as I was saying, we don't have a lot of cover to fall back behind. Like, this is wide open here, and we probably should have fallen back there at the very beginning.
Sounds like
So
Fenris mechs.
we'll see. We can still get the job done here.
Here we go.
Okay, if you guys could, again, just, like, actually be in cover.
Move.
Like, actually be in cover. That'd be lovely. So yeah, you know, it's a little bit of an experiment, trying to see if we can make it work on this difficulty. The hope is that we can. If not, then, you know, we'll settle. We'll bump it back down to what we were doing on the previous Mass Effect 1 playthrough. It's also an opportunity to try to pick some people off for some headshots, which, as I think we were seeing before, technically is an achievement, or can help us out with an achievement. Our accuracy on our pistol is not fantastic, as we were seeing, at least not from that
Shoot
range.
them before
Okay,
they
so
take out your
this
shields.
will make them charge us, so we could even fall back all the way back here. See if we have better cover over there. So they've got a big open area they need to come through here. I mean, these do look like explosive containers of some variety, so taking cover behind them doesn't make me feel great. But okay, here they are. Well, I was wondering if they were going to show up, and then they certainly did. One moment, please, while I go back into cover. Say, Jacob and Miranda, if you could, like, actually take a position where you can
Going
shoot
now.
them while still in cover, that would be ideal. Yeah, so strategic positioning, definitely more important.
I got it.
Oh, they're trying to move in for the flank, it seems. So if they get closer, then of course we can break out the shotgun, which may be worth doing at this stage. There we go. Back to the pistol here for taking out this little guy who's just dancing with all the fire effects. Yeah, so I think we've gotten them now. Besides maybe, yeah, one more back here, which hopefully we should be able to still take out from afar. So yeah, a bit of a reality check, of course. In terms of just how difficult are things going to be on this difficulty. You know, casually take an eternity to line up our headshots there. Okay, but there are more. It's at least one more Fenris mech. So this is our submachine gun, which I didn't even realize we'd switched to, but sure. Say, Jacob, if you could pull this guy before he runs up to us, that'd be great. And so you actually saw our assault rifle was dealing a lot of damage.
Recognized us as human.
Someone reprogrammed them to attack on sight. We're not alone here.
Okay, so let's pick up some ammo. And we didn't run out of anything, I don't think. We do still have the ammo on our grenade launcher, but again, that does have a separate type of ammo that is more limited in nature. So, you know, worst comes to worst, we can break that out. Let's see here. Got a med kit that could be useful. I mean, we didn't use any metagels there, but that could have been another potential answer when we were getting a little bit overwhelmed. We also, and bypassing the... Oh, I think we might have missed one of these types of things in the tutorial, because there's another type of thing that we can do here. Another type of hack that we have not yet seen. Of course, this one we have seen before, but... And so that green bar you're seeing in the top right corner, once that goes empty, that is when we run out of time for that stuff. And again, sometimes you can repeat that over and over until you succeed. Other times you fail it once and you're not allowed to try again. Not sure if there's really any sort of pattern. Oh, when and where that's the case. Okay, we've got seemingly a couple of friends here. And if we're looking to get rid of that armor as quickly as possible, then we can use our biotics and whatnot on these guys. And one of the other things that happened... Oh, Jacob, okay, maybe not the best idea. I know you're, Oh, do we... Oh, we need to activate our Incendiary Ammo, I think, on all of our weapons independently. But, that's why I wasn't active there. one of the things is also that, of course, we chose to specifically target our passive abilities first rather than our active abilities, so not as capable of dishing out all the damages in the short term, which is another reason why short term is going to be a little bit tough while we're still working on that. What do we have here?
Praza, you said you'd let me handle this. Wait, Shepard?
I'm not
Hold
taking
on.
any chances with Cerberus operatives.
Put those weapons down! Shepard? Is that... You're alive?
So I know this is kind of hard to understand, but yes, you probably did witness our death firsthand, but we kind of got resurrected by Cerberus.
Remember when I gave you that Geth data tally? Did it help you complete your pilgrimage?
Yes, it did. Praza, weapons down. This is definitely Commander Shepard.
Why is your old commander working for Cerberus?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask.
Yeah, see that one is still the question we are trying to answer ourselves, to tell you the truth.
I nearly died, Tally. Cerberus spent 2 years.
I mean, we kind of
rebuilding.
did.
They want me to investigate attacks on human colonies.
Likely story. No organization would commit so many resources to bring back one soldier.
You haven't seen Shepard in action, Praza. Trust me, it was money well spent. Perhaps we can work together.
Thanks,
We're
Sally.
here looking for a young Quarian named Vitor. He was here on pilgrimage.
Okay. So, again, for those of you who are not familiar with Mass Effect 1, Tally was one of our squad mates, so one of our good friends in Mass Effect 1. So we are familiar with one another quite a bit. So, okay. And the pilgrimage is basically a mission that all the Quarians, the member of this species, Tally and her friends here, the pilgrimage is basically a mission, an objective that all the Quarians go out and try to find something of value to bring back to their community. And so Vitor was apparently in this area and was trying to do something for his pilgrimage. Also, little side note, I do believe this is the first time we've ever seen a male Quarian in the game, because for all of Mass Effect 1, I believe Tally is the only Quarian we ever encountered the entire time. So yeah, this is overall the first time we've ever seen a Quarian other than Tally, because they are generally, although they have a somewhat large population, they are all in a very remote part of the galaxy, and they are all, for the most part, sticking together, except for when some of them are going out on their pilgrimages, like we were talking about. So, yeah, why did Vitor come here exactly?
Isn't that a little strange? A Quarian visiting a remote human colony?
Quarians can choose where they go on pilgrimage. Vitor liked the idea of helping a small settlement. He was always nervous in crowds.
Tally looks so much better.
Means that he was unstable. Combine that
In
with
Legendary
damage to
Edition.
his CO2 scrubbers and an infection from an open-air exposure, and he's likely delirious.
When he saw us landing, he hid in a warehouse on the far side of town. We suspect he also programmed the mechs to attack anything that moved.
Ah, okay, so this Vitor guy is behind the mechs, okay. Sounds like we could use a helping hand here.
Vitor's the only one who can tell us what happened here. We should work together to find him.
And it does mean there's some
Good idea.
survivors here,
You'll
of course,
need
in
2
addition to
teams
Tally
get
and her
past
team.
The drones anyway.
Now we're working with Cerberus?
No, Praza, you're working for me. If you can't follow orders, go wait on the ship.
Oh,
Head to
Tally.
the warehouse through the center of the colony. We'll circle around the far side and draw off some of the drones to clear you a path.
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, assuming they know who Cerberus is, they probably have pretty good reason to hate them. But you know,
Your people really don't like Cerberus. What did I miss?
we'll
They
check.
killed our people, infiltrated our flotilla, and tried to blow up one of our ships.
That's not how I'd have explained it exactly. It was nothing personal.
We can argue over who
Sounds
killed
kind of
who
personal.
later. Right now, we've got a job to do.
Agreed. We work together to get to Vitor.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Make sure to keep in radio contact.
Will do. Good luck, Shepard. Whatever happens, it's good to have you back.
Good to see you too, Tally. Alright, so, journal updated. We need to fight through the mechs to reach Vitor. Got some Paragon points as well. So, that is the plan. all the colonists on Freedom's Progress have mysteriously vanished, but if we fight through the mechs, we might be able to find this Vitor guy on the far side of the colony. So, sounds good. Oh, other thing, tiny little thing that is different between Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. You'll notice that we are not getting individual quantities of credits or experience when we fight enemies by themselves. It is only at the end of the missions, like we saw before when we got that mission summary. Okay, so our objective is over in that direction. Let's just take a quick moment here to make sure that we are not missing out on anything in this building, but it doesn't look like we are. The intense music continues, though. All right, so of course.
Be careful, Shepard. There's a squad of security drones up ahead.
Yep.
Thanks for the warning. We'll take care of them.
Expecting to run into more mechs of some variety, like that, perhaps. But yeah, as I was mentioning briefly earlier, there actually is another type of hacking that we've not yet seen, which was at one point, I believe, supposed to be somewhere in the tutorial, so we must have just missed it. Oh. What? Where? Oh, you're an enemy. Hello. Let's make it go boom. Now, we'll bypass this wall safe. Okay, so this is the one that we saw before, of course. And to a certain extent, you can see the little lines here kind of connect the ones that have matching symbols. This, and... oh, hold on. This. As you can see, you know, this was by no means was this one perfect, and we still had a fair bit of time to get the job done. And the amount of rewards that you get, I do not believe is based on how quickly you do it, so as long as you complete it within the allotted time frame, you are still good to go. Have we seen any source of additional ammunition here? I feel like we haven't. Or it was just strewn all over the place in the tutorial. It was very generous in that sense, but doesn't seem like that'll be the case here. Yeah, let's see.
Use overload on it.
Oh! Yep, you're not wrong, Jacob. Okay, so they have shields. And overload is particularly effective against synthetic enemies and shielded enemies, and, well, in that case, let's have Miranda do the job there to, well, that, might have blown up a container back there, but, still seeing shields here. And, so that means that similarly to the armor we were seeing before, oh, maybe we got rid of some of the shields on this guy, still not great. But, as we were saying before, when it comes to, armor, that was preventing us from using biotic abilities on enemies previously. That is also the case when it comes to shields. Okay, Shepard decided to freeze for a second there. That was a little strange. I pressed the reload button. The game was like, no thank you. You guys, it seems like our teammates are being fairly smart about their use of cover. So I do like that. And there do appear to be, yep, perhaps more coming as well. Ooh, that hurt. Oh, did this door just close behind us? Excuse me, I like that spot. And these guys do seem to be capable of, dishing out some rockets as well.
There we go.
There's this guy as well, who has a decent line of sight on it. It does seem like, for the most part, they are just pure shields and not much beyond those shields, so
Shepard,
once we do take care of that, they should go down.
I told them to wait, but they wouldn't listen.
Oh,
they
dear.
want to find Vitor and take him away before you get here.
Oh,
We should
man.
have expected this.
Come on. We can still catch them.
Okay, so let's see if we can pick up any additional loots here. Got a medkit, and what happens is, if you already have the maximum number of metagels, because we do have a maximum number that we can hold, the answer is 3 at the moment. So if we already have the maximum number, then we just get 100 additional credits in the process. So, I mean, that's not bad, but, you know, it's an additional bonus in case you find yourself in a situation like that where you just don't need the metagels at all, which in Mass Effect 1 was not a thing. You just got metagels that, you just couldn't do anything in that situation. The gels just did nothing. That's a nice little bonus, a good way that you technically get a little more powerful, or get a little more resources if you are doing well and don't need to use all those. Okay. This certainly seems like a place where we're going to run into more enemigos. Not seeing any at the moment, though. In theory, we're heading in that direction. But... hold on. Here come the friends now. Where from exactly? Ow. They're shooting us. Over there. Well, I don't like where we chose to go. Let's see. We do have some cover here, fortunately. And we were talking before about weapons that deal more damage against different types of defenses. So the base, or rather the machine pistol, which is a submachine gun, is weak against armor but effective against shields and barriers. So that is good against these guys, though it is not very accurate at long range. Then the shotgun is also good against shields and barriers, but weak against armor. That also works in this situation. Whereas the heavy pistol, weak against shields and biotic armor, so we should make a point of not using that. So we'll stick with the submachine gun at the moment. Where is Miranda right now? Jacob's right next to us. Miranda, if you could, like, get up here as well. Not totally sure where you went. Might be about to die. Guys. We had a good spot.
Understood.
And you chose not to come here. And now you're getting annihilated. And, you know, whose fault was that? Fortunately, this guy does not seem to really notice us up here. Oh, there are more friends, though. They also seem to not care too much about us over here. So that works well. Oh, well, that one does. That one does. Wait for it to fire and then go. Oh, I got a little greedy. This guy doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. We are going to run out of ammo, of course, eventually with our SMG if we don't do something about that.
Inside the loading docks. Vitor reprogrammed the heavy mech. It's tearing Praza's squad apart.
That doesn't sound good.
Get to Vitor first.
Get your squad into cover and I'll open the loading bay doors.
We'll take cover by the doors. Shepard, you take point.
Okay. So... hold on, before we do that, let's nab this salvage for some extra credits. Some additional ammo as well. Did we activate our ammo for this? We did. For our submachine guns, so that's cool.
Point, Shepard. We'll cover the door.
Yeah, I gotcha. Just trying to make a point of picking up some important stuff first. Okay, so I think
we'll take cover by the door.
So sure, we'll send our teammates here.
Shepard, you take point.
And by take points, I assume you mean we go here. I'm not super thrilled about doing. Miranda, if you could go to your spot, please. Thank you.
Heading to cover.
Tally unleashes the Big Mech. And her Quarian friends, they're not faring too well. Not faring too well at all, it seems.
That mech's got heavy armor plating. Those Quarians never stood a chance.
This is gonna be one tough son of a bitch to take down.
You're not wrong about that. Okay, so now we have what is in many ways sort of like the mini boss or boss of this mission, this mech. So it has shields, and then you can see, so that's the blue layer. Below that, we have an orange layer of armor, and then below that, we have health. So that means it's going to be a long time until we can actually use any special biotic abilities on it, but at least for now, the overload should be quite effective against those shields. Although, actually, one little thing is that technically, it's kind of a weird, quirky thing, but I believe when it comes to most of our friends' abilities, as you can see, that overload didn't seem to really hit the mech at all. When it comes to most of our friends' abilities, they target the opponent such that the ability tries to basically just go right where you're pointing the ability, but it is trying to make a straight trajectory between where Shepard is standing and your opponent is standing. So the reason why that did not hit our opponent and instead hit the cover directly in front of Shepard is because we had the cover in between Shepard and our opponent. So for that reason, it didn't really do anything.
shields.
Yep, so I would like to overload their shields as soon as you get back off cooldown here. And one little thing is that, well, I mean, obviously he's moving in on us, which is not good, but this cover is destructible. So now we can overload the shields. So what I'd like to do is try to basically distract this guy ourselves. Okay, Jacob went down because, well, he did basically just have to tank this guy. Miranda, waiting for you to get your overload back. I believe you have now done, and, well, Jacob, yeah, like I said, did go down, of course. Ooh, that went down as well. That's not good. That complicates matters. We're running out of cover quickly here. That's gonna absolutely annihilate us. I want to get over here, please. This is still not a great angle for us. I mean, we can charge in. I don't think we want to do that either. Please get into cover, Shepard. Okay, Miranda. Let's see, can we switch you over to your pistol is for both us and Miranda. We could even use a grenade launcher here if we wanted to. Okay. That. Oh. It is going to be looping around here, which is going to cause some problems quickly. Okay. Warp does work on armor. And it stops. I mean, health regeneration is not going to be a factor here, but that helps. Ow. That was not the best time to pop out of cover. Also, we are surrounded at the moment, which is not good. We need to run very, very quickly. Okay. Now, Miranda does have her warp back off cooldown. Try to poke out of cover here quickly. Get that on. Now, Miranda, fortunately, does have a good line of sight on him. So she can fire away at him. Now he's paying attention to her, so we have a good line of sight on him. Did Miranda just go down? She got hurt, at least. No, she is still up here.
Sorry now.
Okay, nice. Now we'll just play some Ring Around the Rosie with this guy real quick. And again, let our Miranda do a little bit of the work for us. And hit him with warps when we get the chance. Did that work? Ooh. Just dancing. Just dancing a little bit here. So, of course, this would be more effective if we still had Jacob up, because then we'd have a couple of people fire at him, not just one. But now he's on his health. And in this case, I mean, warp is not going to be a huge factor, but it is something. And generally speaking, I think the health bar is going to be lower than the other bars here, so we're just going to continue to basically aggro this guy, have Miranda do the dirty work for us. I mean, is that really the dirty work, though, for the ones that are at risk of going down here? This is, of course, a difficult enemy, as you might imagine. One that we'd rather not have getting a clean line of sight on us. I know Jacob's down, but we don't need Jacob, do we? We don't really need Jacob. Look, Miranda and Shepard, it's more than enough, right? Thanks. This is how Jacob gets up. Look, everything's fine. Everything is fine. The Quarians may or may not be dead, but everything is fine, okay? So, let's see, that's Tally. Before we chat with her, let's poke around a little bit and see what, if anything, we can loot in this area, because I think we may find some stuff around here. Like in here, we've got power cells. Give us some heavy weapon ammo, so again, we could have used our grenade launcher. Could have certainly helped make things a little bit easier there, but that heavy ammo is definitely more limited. So, want to be a little bit protective of that. Let's see, get you guys. Get, you, and then it will be you. Let's get some more credits here. Very nice. More ammo as well. Theoretically, we're doing fine on this weapon. I don't recall in Mass Effect 2 as to how the individual ammo on each weapon works. If, you know, by picking up the additional ammo on one weapon, you also get some additional stuff for the others. Maybe the case. And there is some stuff over there, but I think our official objective is to check out that mech. So, in that case, let's save that for last. Let's poke our head in here. And again, we deliberately opted not to use a medkit, although that may have perhaps been a little bit overkill. We did get an additional 100 credits for saving that, though. Alright, let's check in with Tally, who's seemingly trying to tend to this guy.
This is your chance to go find Vitor while I tend to the wounded, Shepard. He's probably somewhere in the back of the loading bay.
Okay. Okay, that makes enough sense. Can we destroy the fragile crates? We can. Of course, did use ammo in the process, but in the name of science, we have now confirmed. So, now, before we investigate the damaged mech, let's get the refined iridium, which is a resource you may remember. In Mass Effect 1, we had a long quest in which, over the course of exploring many different planets, we were able to scan for different resources and actually find them on unexplored worlds on some occasions. And that was largely just a way to, once we reached a certain number of all the 4 different categories, we completed the quests, got some experience, got some rewards along the way for money. However, in Mass Effect 2, there actually are specific additional resources besides just credits. And so Iridium, of course, being one of them there, and we will see more of that in the future. Now, though, let's check out the mech.
Now what's this?
And we got a new type of heavy weapon damage, which, or heavy weapon gear. We'll have to take a close look at that.